So today is a new bike day for me, but not just a new bike day, but it's a new group day. And on this bike is the SRAM Rival AXS group set, which just came out a few days ago. And I've ridden SRAM Force AXS for many years, and I absolutely love it. It's been a game changer for me, and I think for a lot of you guys, this group set will also be a game changer. So the bike, I'm riding a Basso Astra, which is a great mid-level carbon fiber bike. Really fits the group set with some Zipp 302 carbon rims. So a really great package. This video is not meant to be a really in-depth review of the group set. You can find that many places. It's just really my first impressions on it and how I feel the first few kilometers on it. So let's give this bike a try and do this bike ride. Hope you guys enjoy it. So I've just done 10 kilometers on the bike, and so far almost identical to the SRAM Force AXS stuff. So really crisp, really clean. The biggest differences are the levers for me. The levers are just tiny bit smaller, which actually feels a little bit better in my hand. So it's kind of a positive, to be honest with you. I'll say the one clear thing after we built the bike up is, and when I held the group before, is the group weighs way more than the Force stuff. Not way more, I think just like a gram or two more, but you can feel it. So the parts certainly do have some more weight to them, which is explainable because it's pretty much the same thing as the Force group set, but made with different materials. So it is kind of obvious that it's going to be much heavier. The mechanisms apparently are just the same. I did hear some people say online that they thought the shifting was cleaner or crisper or faster. To me, it's identical. I'm not noticing a huge difference. It feels about the same as my Force when I first built it up. So let's keep riding. So I've done my first hill and ridden some flats on it, and the gearing is really good. It's really good. So I'm running a 46-33 in the front, and in the back I'm running a 10-33. And it's good. It feels great. Super good for going uphill so far. I feel like I'm just walking up these hills. On some of my other Force groups, it's been a bit hard to get that gearing right, but so far this one seems to hit all the bases that I need for flats and going uphill. And I think that's one of the things they brought to the Rival group set is a slightly better gearing setup out of the box, which is really cool. However, there's this one weird thing. I've never seen this on a cassette before, and I assume this is to bring down some of the noise that comes off the cassettes. And I know my Force group, the cassette can be really loud at times, and this has this weird, interesting like pad in between the final two cogs, which is something I've never seen before, which I assume is to help with vibrations or sounds. I'm not quite sure though. I've never seen that on a single cassette ever, which I think is quite cool. So my favorite part about the entire group set, it stands out right away, is the crank. The crank looks really cool. I mean, the Force crank, when the Force crank came out, I liked the Force crank more than the red AXS crank, but this one I think is the best looking of them all. It's super stealth, it's super clean. I mean, look, the crank is alloy and you catch it right away, just like my other Rival mechanical group sets. It's a bit of a clunky crank, and when you start to knock on it, it's a bit, heavy and metallic as opposed to a lot of the other cranks in the SRAM lineup, but it looks so good. It looks great. And my crank is not one of the ones that has the power meter on it, so it's just a normal crank, 2x crank. Really kudos to SRAM. It looks absolutely great. I'm gonna say it now, the best stock group set crank look on the market right now. So, it's a really good group set. I'm really enjoying it so far. Very comparable to the Force group set. Really clean, crisp, easy, SRAM AXS shifting, just like I've known on other bikes. I didn't talk about the brakes, but the brakes are pretty crisp, pretty easy, pretty good. I mean, it's the first ride on the bike, so of course the braking is pretty even on all of them. I know that the control points you can't change, but you can change the reach on the levers, which is really nice. Yeah, so I'd say the pros, really. First, it's very similar to Force, right? Almost, and red, very similar shifting. Second, the hoods feel really well. So when I really grab them, they feel really just smaller, but better than the Force hoods actually, in my opinion. Next, another pro, the crank. The crank looks amazing. It really is just a different crank than what you're used to seeing on a bike these days, so I really like that. Another pro is that, like all the other AXS stuff, it really synced with my Wahoo without a problem. Like second in, it's done, no problem at all. And of course, another pro is that it's quite affordable. Like, this isn't that much. I think it's cheaper than a Di2 Ultegra group set, and I would say pretty comparable for most standards, if not maybe better considering the wireless elements. Also, like, syncing with the SRAM app and the SRAM website is really great. It's really simple. I've done it on all my SRAM bikes. It's the exact same software. That's really cool to see the number of shifts you've done in your ride. If you have your power meter, it puts it all there with everything. I think that's a really cool feature that other people aren't really doing. So the cons really are around the weight. It's a little heavy, right? It's a little clunky, but I don't think that really matters. Like, I don't think any of us are really caring about weight that much these days. I know there's some you weight weenies still out there, but overall, I mean, it's not that much heavier, and considering some of the pros of it, I think that outweighs it. Maybe another negative could be the levers are a bit stealthy for my liking. Like, they're just Rivals written in black. They're not really defined as SRAM. It's not super clear until you get up close, which it looks kind of cool, like the stealthiness, but maybe for some people not quite there. Another con is maybe the battery thing, which if you're like me, you're lazy and barely charge your batteries, but I've been really good about it lately. So if you're a person who prepares and actually charges your batteries before a ride, it's not a problem. Yeah, so that's about it for the cons. I mean, there aren't actually that many of them. It's a pretty damn solid group set. Yeah, so that's it. That's all this video was supposed to be. It was just a simple first impression of the group set. I'll continue riding it over the coming weeks and see if anything really changes, but I'll be honest, I've put my Force group set on some of my other bikes, one for almost 2 years now, and I've had zero issues with it. Like, I have not touched, other than a pop chain on one bike ride, which you've maybe seen that video, I've had no problems with it. It runs smooth without a problem. Every now and then some brakes, bleeding needs to be done, but I've had zero issues with it. Like, I literally have not made one micro adjustment on the entire group since I've had it for 2 years, which is crazy, right? So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this video. It was just a super simple one. Maybe I make more of these in the future. If you're interested in Rival, please, AXS, please feel free to message me. I'll give an honest opinion on it all. All right, everyone, have a good week if you're out riding, and stay safe, and hopefully better weather than we're having here for spring. See you. Bye-bye.